On Friday, I took my first day trade with ThinkOrSwim, and I lost. I'll tell you what I was looking at and how much I lost coming up. Hello traders, it's Douglas coming at you from my garage today. All right, so on Friday, we placed our first ever day trade on stocks. And we did it in ThinkOrSwim, all right? Our first day trade on ThinkOrSwim. Now, of course, I've placed it on futures in NinjaTrader and such, but I've never placed a day trade on stocks before. And it's actually in my retirement account, so I don't have any margin in there or anything. So the rules are for me in my retirement account, even though I'm above the 25 grand, is I still have the day trade rules. I can only place three day trades in like a week or something like that before I break the rules. I can't place any shorts, so I have to look for longs only. So that kind of limits me a little bit. So I picked out this stock EQT because I thought it had a pretty good chance of going long. And if you come over here to the far right, you'll see that it gapped like a true gap up in the morning, and it just shot up quite a bit. All right. And then it pulled back, and this is where I started looking at it to get in long after it pulls back. I mean, it comes right back to the gap. And then this is a 5-minute candle long, and this is basically where I got in with 100 shares of this stock. But I don't place my trades based on charts, really. I place them mostly based on the order book. Okay, so let's take a look at the order book. So this is matching up with that chart. This is what I was looking at. This is the early morning gap up. You see it shoots up, and then it comes back. And I got in right in here. Now what you're looking at, if you're not familiar with Bookmap, is all these bubbles are actual executed orders. The blue bubbles are signifying that the buyers were in control. It's a cumulative delta look at the buy and sell orders. So the blue bubbles are buyers are dominant, the red bubbles are sellers, and as you can see, blue bubbles all day long. You don't get that very often where it's so obvious that buyers are in control. Now these highlighted areas are areas of liquidity or limit orders resting in the book. So after it came back, and this white line here is the VWAP line. And after it came back around the VWAP line and then just started all this massive buying here. I mean, this is the biggest kind of buy zone of the day. I wanted to get in on that and be part of the fun. Thought there's no way I'm going to lose this one. And of course I did. So we'll see what happened there. But in hindsight, you know, everything's 2020. I didn't have a lot of liquidity in the book as far as limit orders from the buy side holding me up. There's really nothing there, and there is just this little bit, you can see this little bit of highlight here of the sell orders. I didn't think that it was going to bother me much considering all this buying. I thought we were golden to go up to here, which would be 3-4 times my money. I'm only risking 20 cents. So I thought the risk is good, the look is good with all those buyers. Let's go for it. Okay. Now, if we look at chart number 2, so I got in around right here, and then this little tiny bit of sellers start winning, no big deal, and then it shoots up, comes back, and gives me this big blue bubble. This is the biggest kind of buy domination of the day. I thought, here we go. Now we're going to shoot up, and we've got this liquidity way up here, even above the highs. And I thought, well, we're golden up to here. I'm going to make at least 4 times my money. No problem, maybe more. We are good to go. But didn't work that way. All right, so this is the chart look at what happened. This is the bubble, big blue buy bubble happened at this little guy right here. And then it was all downhill from there until it stopped me out, and I lost there was only 100 shares of this, so I lost, like $23 total. $23 is what I ended up losing. And sometimes it works out that way, and then it gets more painful because as soon as I get out, that's basically the bottom of the day, and then it skyrockets, okay? So let's take a look at the fun of that. So this is the Bookmap look at it going against me with all this buying all the way down. So it comes down to here, and I thought, oh God, I'm close. Maybe I should just get out. And then the buy bubbles come back in. I'm like, oh, well, I think it'll go back up. And then it keeps going down, and I get out about right in here somewhere. And that's all she wrote. But then you can kind of see it's starting to track up over there. So what happens? What happens? Oh my God. It goes up to my target above the highs of the day. I would have been just golden in the money if I hadn't have got out, but I would have had to risk more than I was planning on from the beginning. And this was an entire stock market rally. The S&P had a giant run up at the end of the day. I think it just took stocks with it. This stock being a buy domination stock all day long, naturally, I think, you know, in theory anyway, that it just carried this one right with it, of course. So that's just the way it goes. Here is a look at the chart. As you can see, I got it out about back here. Goes just a bit lower than that, and then the rally happens and goes above the opening of the day. So you win some, you lose some, but at that risk to reward ratio, and like I said, I was pretty positive that we could hit that risk reward ratio with no problem. That's why I picked out EQT, because the volume in it was high enough for the day. With that risk reward ratio, I can be wrong 3-4 times and make up for it and even be positive with one good trade. So we'll see. I might play around with stocks a little bit more. Futures is my game. But if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments below or like the video, guys. All right, thanks. Peace out.